Good afternoon, everybody. We'll be getting started in just a minute or two, and look forward to bringing everybody up to speed on our new program, Connex Oklahoma. So if you'll just give us a couple minutes, where we've got a few more people signing on. I would ask that during the call today, we have everybody mute their phones. We'll be able to take questions if you want to put them into the text box, the chat box at the bottom of your screen. And if we have questions afterwards, we'll do our best to answer them and then be available to you through email or phone call to answer any additional questions. So we'll get started in just a couple of minutes.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
It's already off there.
What did I get?
Healthy stuff.
How cute you all work together to talk about. That is the cutest thing ever.
What's wrong? What?
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm excited to welcome everyone today. I would ask that everybody go ahead and mute their audio if they could so that we can not have a lot of interference with the call today. We've got some work going on in our office, so I apologize in advance if you hear a lot of thumping and bumping around. They're putting in quite a bit of new equipment across the hall. My name is Kenny Tilley, and I have the privilege of serving as the Vice President for the Oklahoma Manufacturing Alliance. As many of you know, the Manufacturing Alliance is part of the national MEP system. There are 51 of us through the United States and Puerto Rico, and we are all things manufacturing. Many of you have the opportunity to work with our outstanding field staff, our MEAs, as well as our regional business consultants across all 77 counties. If you have not met the one that is assigned to your area, I would love to connect with you and have that person come out and meet with you. So I want to thank everybody for being here today. I see Tim Epps, and I'm always glad to see him. I love the background you got going on there, bud. Looks great. Always looks great. So I appreciate everybody being here. Pretty full agenda. And I want to start off by introducing one of our partners in this effort. We were very fortunate at the onset to partner with the Oklahoma Department of Commerce to find ways to support manufacturing in our state. It's very important to us because we know the positive and very, very big impact that it has on the economy in Oklahoma, the investments that you make, the people that you hire, and the way that you can affect your local economies is pretty impressive. And so we wanted to do whatever we could to support a stronger supply chain to help you find new customers and to find those suppliers across our state versus buying from somebody in Ohio or even worse, China. So what we wanted to do was provide a platform where we could help you find each other. It's B2B. It will also help us connect you to the larger OEMs who are looking at our state. So I'd like to turn it over for just a couple of minutes to one of our great partners, Nicole Boyles, who works with us on a daily basis. She is with the Oklahoma Department of Commerce and a huge asset and a big reason why this platform has launched so smoothly. So Nicole, turn it over for you for a couple of minutes.
Thank you, Kenny. And you know, I will say this is a perfect example of what happens when two groups come together and work together for the betterment of Oklahoma. We couldn't have launched this portal on our own at Commerce, and I think we've really enhanced OMA. So us working together has, I think, really brought a very powerful tool to our state. We've already gotten a testimonial from a company that logged on the very first day, started searching for a supplier for a part they needed that they've been buying out of state, and they found it was made in Muskogee. So I think we're going to have those kind of stories just coming out of the woodwork, and that is the intent. When the pandemic hit and we started trying to look at locally sourcing some of our PPE, we saw that this was an absolute necessity in our state. We've also got folks on here from our. So everyone might go ahead and just mute yourself if you haven't already. We're getting some background. But we've got some wonderful folks that we've gotten a lot of direction from the state of Utah and the state of Florida, who launched this program first. And I think you're going to hear a little bit more about that today. But again, thank you for the opportunity to share this new platform and this new tool to you all. And we are happy to answer any questions we have and work with you guys to get this as a powerful new tool for you. So Kenny, I'll turn it back to you.
Thank you, Nicole. Again, we could not do this without our friends at the Department of Commerce. We have common goals, and our common goal is to help our manufacturers grow, thrive, find opportunities wherever they are, and meet any of the challenges that come their way. I would like to introduce just briefly, I see Alan is on here, Alan Davis, who's with I-5, and just give him a minute to talk a little bit about the platform and how they have been implementing this across the United States, and we're proud to be a partner with them in this as well.
Great, thanks, Kenny, and thanks, Nicole, and thank you for the opportunity to be on and to share a few things today. It is a great opportunity for Oklahoma, and there is a tremendous amount of value to all who are a part of this solution. And I will just share very quickly, in addition to what Kenny and Nicole have shared with you, that The ability to search and connect and to find other manufacturers and to be found is a vital part of a healthy supply chain in the US. We've been at this for close to 10 years now, trying to connect the US manufacturing supply chain. So in addition to Connex that you have here in Oklahoma, your Connex platform is also connected to the national platform, which means when you run a search here in Oklahoma, if you are unable to find a provider that you're looking for, a supplier of some sort, you are able to expand your search nationally and be able to access a database of well over 140,000 US manufacturers to be able to find those specific suppliers that you need here in the US. So the tremendous amount of value that way. Kenny, I just wanted to double check with you. Did you want me to share a little bit of the functionality at this point around how they could get that value from the platform?
That would be outstanding. If you want to go ahead and do that, that would be great. This is very interactive. So, everybody that is partnering with us, Nicole, I know is going to jump in as well as you. So I appreciate that.
Fantastic. And so, by the way, if you do have any questions, please feel free to ask them at any time. We're here really to answer your questions today, hopefully give you a little bit of exposure and understanding as to how you get value from the system, how you really take advantage of this asset that is available to you here in Oklahoma. So feel free to either drop them in the chat, feel free to unmute yourself and ask a question at any time. If you're not sure, or if we haven't covered something, please don't hesitate to jump in and ask the questions. Kenny, if it's okay, I'm going to go ahead and just share my screen so that I can show a couple of things actually inside of the application. So are you able to see my screen okay? Wonderful. So what you're seeing is the Connex Oklahoma. I am actually already logged into the system. So this is a view that you will see once you log into the system. And one of the very first things that most everyone would like to get out of the system is this ability to search and find others. And then we'll come back and we'll talk a little bit about how to be found. So if you're hoping that your organization could be found by others, there are some definite tips and tricks that we'll share with you today on how to get the most out of the system so that you are being found. So I'm going to draw your attention just to the search box in the upper right-hand corner here. In the search box, much like in Google, you're able to come in and type a search term. And I'm just going to do something very generic, and we'll type the word steel. And you'll notice immediately results are returned back. Whatever my search terms are that I put in the search box here, I will get a very quick result to that. If you do have questions about how to write more complex searches, how to get more out of searching, there is a little question mark next to the search bar here. And under there, you'll find some options that will help you on getting started and in completing more advanced searches if you desire to do so. I'm just going to run some very basic ones for demonstration purposes today. You'll notice that as I ran the search, the relevant results as they are showing here, you can see that the relevancy is based upon a certain fields that are being searched and where the term steel was found. It was found in a description field, in an SIC code field, a NAICS code field, in a name, in a materials field, and also in an attachment. And this is really an interesting thing. We'll talk a little bit more about attachments later. You have the ability to upload a capability statement or an attachment, if you will, and have it be indexed. Actually, when you upload, all those attachments are indexed by the system. And so that means they become searchable and they are able to be found in a search whenever a search term is put into the search box here. So searching is certainly one of those things. However, often we'll get a very large set of results. You'll notice there were 198 companies that were found. That's too large of a data set, or if you will, a set of results that I wanted to work with. So one of the things that helps me here is there are filters along the right-hand side. So similar to if you use Amazon, you'll always get kind of a filter option along the side. That option is here as well, and you can filter by city, zip, county, type, sector. You'll notice a lot of different types of things here. Maybe you just need to find someone who has a specific type of a certification, or maybe only an SBA or a company with an SBA designation, maybe a woman-owned company or an 8A small disadvantaged business. Maybe you're searching for specific equipment or a certain type of materials. In this case, we had typed in a search for steel. Also, if I needed to search just by a specific NAICS code or SIC code, I could come down and I can filter it down to just those results that had those types of things in my searching. And the other way that I can filter or narrow my search results is by utilizing this limiting by distance. So maybe I only want to see organizations within a certain distance of my facility, or a specific distance from a specific location. Whichever the case may be, you're able to use the filters and the distance limitations to be able to narrow down your search results to get to a company that looks like it might have some capabilities or the types of equipment or materials that you might be looking for. So with that then, and Kenny will go over this in just a little bit about how to fill out your profile, but I'm going to just walk you through some of the basic components that are available in a profile. And so what you'll find while you're searching. You'll notice that this first tier of data that we're looking at is public information, which means it's a type of information that typically you would find if you went to a company's website. A basic description about the company, maybe some contact information or key people. A capability statement, as I mentioned earlier, can be uploaded to the public area, so it can be searched through the public area. Certifications and qualifications, NAICS and SIC codes. Now, the second tier of data is a member-only tier, and that means it can only be searched by those who are members. So if you are not, if you have not yet received access to Connex in Oklahoma, and you would like to have access, and you are a manufacturer, if you'll email or contact OMA and let them know that you would like to gain access. You can also do that through the OMA website. You just request access through there. You can be granted access, and you can then have the ability to search in the member only information. And Kenny will share with you in just a minute what the requirements are there. But in the member only data, you'll notice there are industry sectors and key people and products and services are being offered. Capability statements. So if you only want your capability statement to be accessible or searched by those who have been granted rights or access to the system, then you'll be able to do that here. Materials that you use, equipment, employees, and capacities. There's a lot of information here. I'm just going to click into one of them to give you a feel for the type of information that's being gathered. So as an example, I clicked into equipment and processes. And you'll notice a lot of different types of equipment and processes here. As I click on them, I also have the opportunity to add in additional detail. That detail is all very, very helpful when someone is searching. For example, if they search for a specific size of an autoclave, they needed to find someone who had a large diameter autoclave as an example. Then you want to make sure that your information is there so it can be found. And also, if you're performing the search, then that gives you the ability to narrow into those companies who have those types of capabilities. There's always other options. So if you're not finding an option that meets your equipment or your process here, you can add it under the other category. And again, it's all still searchable. I'm going to come back now to the profile data. And in here, you notice there's a third tier of data. And this is a confidential tier, which means it's only visible or only viewable by the company itself. So you have access to view your own confidential information, but no one else's. And so as we look at a way that I can share some of that with you, we've created a demo company that allows us to show what that functionality is like. And this will help you understand a little bit more about also how to analyze your supply chain a little bit more, and also how to find alternate suppliers. So as we're looking to find alternates, first thing you'll notice, and I'm in a section now that is the visualization for supply chain. So we came over to this area here, And in this visualization, it's a representation of your supply chain, depending on the information you put in. And you'll notice from the legend in the bottom right that customers are represented in yellow and suppliers in green. In this case, we just have a few suppliers added here so that we can demonstrate some of the functionality. There's tremendous amount of value in adding this information in because the system will perform a lot of checks for you, and it will help you to identify potential risk in your supply chain. And I'll show you what I mean by that with just a couple of quick examples. So this first one I clicked on, it was outlined in red, which means there's an issue with this, potential issue with this supplier. You'll notice that it was flagged up because there was some single supplier risk that was detected, meaning they were the only supplier for a particular good or service. Down here at the bottom then, I have the option of being able to find alternates. So it gives me some additional information here. And when I come to find alternates, then when I click on it, I'm able to see alternate suppliers, the distance they are from my facility, links directly to their profile page so that I can do some assessment and find a potential new supplier if I need one in that particular area. So that is a quick view into, there was one other thing I was going to show you, I apologize. I'm going to come back and go through that just a little bit different this time. And I do want to show you one other thing here. It doesn't look like I have one set up in this demo account, so I'm going to use a different demo account. This is a slightly more advanced supply chain visualization, and you'll notice that there's options for being able to save or to filter down. So maybe I only want to see just my customers or just my suppliers or just those in state or out of state. Maybe just a specific type of provider. There's a lot of different ways in which I can limit the data that I'm viewing in my visualization. One of the things that I was hoping to share with you is one that's called a blacklist or watch list notification. So in this case, when I click on that supplier, it had an alert on it. When I click on it here, I find that it's matched to a government watch list or blacklist. So all companies that are in the system, your entire supply chain that you choose to upload would be run through all the government watch lists and blacklists to identify if there are any companies you might be working with who have landed on a government watch list or blacklist for some reason. And that's linked to State, Commerce, and Treasury Department, as well as the DoD. In this case, this one matched to the Treasury Department's SDN list. Here are links directly to the Treasury Department website, so you can find out what you might need to do if you do have a supplier that's on a watch list or blacklist. Gives you aliases that the company operates under, addresses that they use. So a lot of tremendously valuable information. As we began, a number of years ago, probably 3 or 4 years ago, working with the Air Force to identify risk in the supply chain and identify ways in which we could help companies reduce risk in the supply chain. This was one of the things that was high on the priority list for being able to reduce risk of working with companies who maybe are not companies that in the US that we may want to be working with. So this will give you a quick flag on that, as well as I showed you the single supplier risk. There's a number of other different types of risks that are being assessed in here, so it'll help you identify risks that might exist in your supply chain. Interesting thing about this particular tool, we met with a large manufacturer, it's probably been a year and a half ago. They'd been working for a couple of years on a supply chain visualization tool, and they shared with us, and this I thought was a good anecdotal story to share with you, that they'd been working for almost 2 years on theirs, and they didn't have anywhere near this much functionality in it. So this is available to you as you gain access to the system. And there is no charge in Oklahoma for you to gain access to Connex. You do need to request access, member-only access through OMA. But once you have that access, you have access to this tool, and you can use all the capabilities that are here to be able to help you search and find and identify risk in your supply chain as well. So with that, I'm going to change gears just a little bit. The other objective you may have coming in here is to be found. And Kenny's going to go through your profile here in a bit and help you identify information you're going to want to put in there so that you are being found through the search results. I'm going to touch on a slightly different piece of functionality, and that is what we call the Exchange Center. Now, the Exchange Center is a place where you can, for example, come and exchange surplus materials, or also a place where you can post RFIs, RFPs, RFQs, or other needs. I draw attention to this for two particular purposes. One is that there are opportunities always being listed in the Exchange Center, and you'll notice that there are some in here already. We've been working with, I guess I'll give you just a little bit of leading information on this. We've been working closely with Northrop Grumman on a pilot for some events that we have been running through the Exchange Center. And while we may not have time to go into detail on that, I know OMA is planning a future event where they're going to talk about the events. And events are really a very focused way of helping a large or even medium-sized manufacturer, even small for that matter, to be able to find another manufacturer that you're having, particularly someone you may be having difficulty finding. We can not only use the resources of the database, but we can also, sounds like we have someone that's not on mute. There we go. But we can also use the resources of the partner network. So in Oklahoma, there are a number of partners who are assisting with this platform who will help to find qualified suppliers for your posting. And as we do that, and I'm going to click into one of these, I'm going to share with you a little bit of about a post that Northrop Grumman has put in. And this is an active post. And so if you do actually have the capability to deliver on this, we hope that you'll respond in the system. So in here, Northrop Grumman has come in and indicated that they have a need for a machine shop that has a vertical turning lathe who can lathe parts 30 inches to 80 inches in diameter, that also has internal weld capability in their shop. Here are more details about what they're looking for, and also some restrictions. So a company needs to be AS9100 certified, JCP and ITAR certification is also required, CMMC, DFAR and FAR. And if you're not familiar with these, and you may not have some of those certifications, OMA is there to really help you through that entire process. So they become your extremely valuable partner, and hopefully you've all realized that by now, but if you haven't, they are an incredibly valuable partner to you in helping you to expand your business and to get additional awards of business, particularly with larger suppliers and in the defense area. Some of these certifications are required, and so they can help you with that process. But as you come in, if you look at this and you happen to be qualified to fulfill that, there's an option for you to click respond to post, and you click on that respond button and you're able to respond directly to the post. The other thing is, and I'm going to just come back, let's see, show you in here. When they create the post, or, and this could be you if you are in search of someone, this operates the same way. You have an option of coming in and notifying certain companies. So you can notify companies based upon maybe just the materials that they work with, or maybe just an SBA program of some sort. So you have a number of different options you can come and select, and that'll help narrow down the companies that are notified. Or you can manually choose specific organizations if you'd like them to show up in here. And as you do so, it will then go out and notify companies of your post and let them know. Now, in the instance that we have here that we're looking at with Northrop, they also asked us to run an event with them, which means we also notify partners. So we'll reach out to partners and let them know about your post. And if you're running an event, then you indicate to us, to OMA, whoever is hosting the event for you, that the day that you would like to perform your interviews and how many companies you'd like to interview. In this case, Northrop told us they wanted to interview 16 companies. They wanted to hold 2 interviews a week. They wanted each interview to last a half an hour, so 1 hour a week. They wanted to talk to 2 qualified suppliers. So we've been lining up qualified suppliers every single week for them since January. And they have been absolutely thrilled because we're pairing them directly to companies who are qualified to deliver exactly what they've asked for. And the suppliers that we have matched to them have been absolutely thrilled because they've not been able to gain access to this particular group of buyers. It's a fairly difficult group of buyers to get to at times. They're in Promontory, Utah, and there's no front door to that facility. So sometimes you don't find out about things like that unless there's a back door or a way for you to get in. And so in this case, they're able to get a half an hour directly in front of the buyers from that group. And we have now had, let's see, 5 RFPs issued from this one post from Northrop Grumman. So that's a little bit about the events and about the posts. And there's a tremendous amount of value to you as an organization to be in here in the Exchange Center often, both posting your own needs as well as looking at what has been posted to find out if there's something that you may be able to deliver. So Kenny, those were some of the main points I was thinking we should cover today. Is there anything else in particular you were hoping that I might cover while I've got the site up?
I don't think so at this moment. I think right now I'll just kind of go through and give a high level of why we're doing this and what the value is directly, and kind of how to sign up, all that information. You touched on a lot of it. We're very excited about this. As you can see with the Connex Florida site, they're really advanced in where they are. I think we actually have Michael Aller from Connex Florida on here today. So if we have questions for them, we could post questions as well. I would remind everybody to continue to mute if you want to use the chat function. I did see we had a couple of questions in regarding to accessing the video after this. Yes, all these are being recorded and they will be sent out to you. If you don't get it for some reason, please let us know and we'll work with you to get that back to you. So if Alan, if you want to just continue sharing your screen, and then I will stand mine up.
All right, there you are.
Thank you, I appreciate it.
Okay.
Again, if you have questions, please feel free to reach out to us and we are happy to help you with anything. You can email us afterwards. We'll be getting back in touch with you with the recording so that you can see that. What I'd like to do right now is just look at some high level of why we decided to kind of go down this road and what we hope that it brings to you. Can you guys see my screen? Okay. Obviously, we're doing this in partnership with the Department of Commerce, the MEP National Network. There's 51 of us across the U.S. and Puerto Rico. We have great partners through I-5. And as I mentioned, our friends who are in the MEP system in Florida and Utah, we are very fortunate to have them kind of carrying us along and big brothering us through this whole process. We could not do that without everybody engaged. We started this to help improve the resiliency of our supply chains. And as I mentioned, this is going to be an interactive, open to all manufacturing enterprises, searchable by industry, as you saw, as well as capabilities and NAICS code. It's all about streamlining those connections we have in the state. It is free of charge. I can't stress that enough. It is absolutely zero charge to anybody who wants to sign up to this. It is a great way for you to meet B2B, and in these virtual times, still have that opportunity to do so. There will be an opportunity for you to sign out to the national marketplace, which Alan referred to, and that will be free for the first 2 months. There is typically a charge because that is with NAM, the National Association of Manufacturers, not us. There would typically be a charge for that, but if you sign up in the first 2 months to our platform, you can sign up there for free for life. So it's an incentive to get you guys to sign up, and I would highly encourage to do so, simply because it gives you another layer of opportunity to find suppliers and customers. So I just really impress upon you, go ahead and take advantage of that right now. It's going to create for you specifically with each other a fast and efficient search. If you need a supplier, as the gentleman who's already told us, found another supplier here in Oklahoma, excited to do that. And it will allow you that access to the NAM national marketplace. talked a little bit about visualizations. It will enable you to see where your supply chain is, where's your hotspots, where's your links that you have that are strong, and where potential problems for you. And that's something that we're going to be doing training on in May and June, how to use these additional portions of it, which is the visualization side. You know, really, it's all about buy local. We want to make sure that you have that opportunity, as Alan presented to you, to look and see what's close to you. You'll be able to go in and search local in Oklahoma companies that you need. You can do it by all kinds of capabilities, all kinds of search results will come up for you. And you can narrow it down to say, I want somebody within 25 miles of me, or I want somebody within 10 miles of me. So you'll have that opportunity there, which will make it a lot easier than waiting on something to come out of Ohio or out of Beijing. One of the things we want to really focus on again is the Exchange Center. We talked a little bit about it, and that is a place where you as a company can post your RFPs, your RFQs, RFIs, or you can go in there and look and see what other companies are looking for. Oh, wait, somebody needs the product that I have. It looks like I should reply to them immediately because they need 5,000 of these. So it's a way for you to automatically connect to new customers as well as to new suppliers. You can specifically tailor anything that you're looking for or that you need made to a specific sector. I just need aerospace companies versed in X or with the capabilities to make this product for me. It is also, we need, suppliers on this. We have capacity available, or we're out of capacity and we need partners that can come in and help us. You'll be able to post and look for all kinds of opportunities like that. So it's an easy process to get signed up. Again, it's free. That's my favorite word. Manufacturing companies can request access to Connex Oklahoma. You see that all you have to do is go into the Oklahoma Manufacturing Alliance or Department of Commerce websites, and you'll be able to click on a link, sends us an email. We verify, yes, you are indeed a manufacturer. This is a site only for manufacturers. And with the approval of the NAICS codes, OMA is going to send a link to you as a company to update your company information. Understand the company information is already on the site, so we'll be able to have you go directly to that. You can verify everything that's on there. I'm going to show you a quick tutorial here in a few minutes. Literally within minutes, you can be up and running. Your information is most likely already on there. We have uploaded thousands of files from our own database to this to make sure that that information was already there. I want you to do just a few things. When you get on there, I'm going to step you through how to do it. Focus initially on updating your contact, your key people. Who's the person who's going to be the admin for your site? Make sure you get in there all of your certifications, capabilities, industry sectors, all of that that's going to make you available, searchable, and attractive to potential new clients or suppliers. I want to stress too, this information is only available to other manufacturers to see. The Aflac guy, God bless him, is not going to be able to access you through this. And we want you to know that your information is going to only be seen by other manufacturers. Alan, talk a little
Kenny,
bit about, yes, ma'am.
I was just going to interrupt 1 second to talk a little bit more about the capability statement. So the MEAs with the Oklahoma Manufacturing Alliance and the Department of Commerce, RDSs, the regional people, all are going to be canvassing the state in the next 2 months, really meeting with you guys and helping you go through and developing a very robust capability statement. We've got additional folks within the state that can help with that as well, but we're going to have samples for you guys from a 12-page PDF that can be uploaded to a simple 5-sentence capability statement. But I know we've stressed that a little bit, but I want to say that if there's one thing you do, go in and build the most robust capability statement you can with all the buzzwords within your industry of the services you provide so you can be found.
Thank you, Nicole. That is very important to have people understand that. And we'll show them exactly how that can be done. And again, your local MEAs and RDSs will be working with you. If you don't have somebody that can help you with it, call us, get in touch with us. We will help you get it done. It is really a simple process, but the more information you put in there, the more readily visible you're going to be to those other companies And if we move into these virtual matchmaking sessions with OEMs like Boeing and Northrop Grumman, as our partners at Utah and Florida have seen, very successful opportunities there. When the Boeing comes in and has $2 billion worth of contracts and they need those small companies to help them fulfill the set aside, veteran owned, hub zone, minority, small business owned, they're going to want to find people quickly and easily and get those competent suppliers. So it puts you in that queue if you have the capabilities and can match what they're looking for to get their attention very quickly. So we've had over 4,000 companies loaded into the site already. Talked a little bit about it. First thing you're going to do, you're going to go in and verify your information. It should already be in there. If it's not for some reason, let us know. We will help you with that. And then sign up for that national marketplace. Remember, for the first 2 months, that's free. It's a great value for you to do that. It's a simple, easily accessible process for you to be absolutely customer ready. So the information is, again, is confidential on your site and only can be accessed by other manufacturers. I'm going to talk a little bit and show you what the confidential portion of your site will look like and let you know that that is, it's only accessible by you and your people and our admins, and it is highly guarded, kept very confidential. So not to worry about that. Just want to reiterate a couple of things, and then I'm going to switch over to our site so that you can see what it looks like. Simple process. You guys can do this easily. Each company requests us access to your page. We'll get you an email. We really have a quick turnaround. I know Jessica Mugg, who's managing this entire process for us internally at OMA, she's got less than a 24-hour turnaround, so you're not going to wait too long. Now, if you email it Friday night at 10 o'clock, it might be a little bit, but she will get back to you quickly. She's all over the process of getting you approved. So you are to go in and verify your company information. That's what you'll have access to. Every access request from a company is merged individually if you have an existing record. So as that comes to us, you're straight to your company. If for some reason you go in and see that there's a duplicate record for your company, please just let us know. We will fix that problem for you. So just know that that is absolutely something that we will take care of for you. So let me get over to the actual site and run through it really quickly and just show you there's a real simple process. I've already found a few sheets to get in there and get it done. So let me get back over and get you where you need to be to look at this. Okay. Here's just a demo that we're able to use. Thank you to our friends at i5 for setting this up for us. But let me just show you, if you are Prime One, this is a company that I'm guessing they just made up for us to use today, but I'm going to show you, if you were Prime One, you're going to go to the site, you're going to find your public information, and the easiest way you can do this, there's two ways. You see this little button on the side? What it will do is show you, once you go in, hit the first button, here's the steps you need to go through. It's very simple. Just go down the line, and you can't miss anything that is vital to be put in here. First, go to description. Go in and just update anything that needs to be updated in that. Check everything that applies. Obviously, they are a manufacturer, so update your description of your company, do all that, and then you're going to save that. Contact information. What you want to do is go in and make sure that your public contact information is updated. Very simple, should take you just a couple of minutes. You'll notice that we also have a map, so we know exactly, if we're looking at your site on this page, where you are located. Key people. You're going to go in and list all of your key people for your organization. That's extremely helpful. Helps us and it helps you. We know who your admin people are and who are going to be managing your site. You'll notice in there confidential data. If you want to put in confidential data that only you can see, maybe you're using this site just to keep track of some things that are going on in your organization or what your supply chain looks like, you can put confidential information in there. It is so locked down that I will tell you that we get audited. i5 holds our feet to the fire. And if people are in there using it, we know exactly who has looked at it. It is audited and we are alerted if somebody has gotten in there. So no one can get into your personal confidential information on your site. And Nicole talked about this just a little bit, but we cannot stress it enough. come in here to your certifications and qualifications and make sure that you list everything that would be important to you. Any SBA programs you're engaged with. These are just like, if you're looking on Google, these are just like keyword phrases that potential customers and OEMs and DoD contractors are looking for. So when they're coming in and saying, I need somebody who's had experience with Boeing, maybe you've been Boeing Supplier of the Year. You can upload that information in here, put that PDF in here and say, I got a certification from Boeing. I was their Supplier of the Year, top 10. And I want everybody to know that I have that capability and that I can meet the quality standards of an industry leader like Boeing. Obviously, update any of your NAICS codes. They're all listed in here. You should be able to find yours. And there may be some in there that might not be as familiar to you, but since our friends in Florida are very focused on the citrus industry, there's some in there related to that too. But we have all the NAICS and SIC codes that should be applicable to who you are as a manufacturer. Industry sectors, again, very important. If you want to get Boeing's attention, make sure you're talking about aerospace, defense, all the things that you can do. If you are in an industry such as energy, but you're diversifying into automotive or aerospace, make sure you list all of your qualifications. We've been in energy, we have that capability, we have that historical knowledge. We're now getting into automotive, we're now getting into aerospace. There's also an opportunity down here to put other programs. So feel free to take advantage of all that, list everything in which you have that capability, that experience, and that knowledge. Obviously, you can go through here and put all the services and products that you have capability in. Make sure that you go through and list everything in which you can. If your company, say you manufacture a specific product and it's very unique to the industry, and you do training, technical training related to that, make sure that you've listed that in here, that business and technical consulting, that you're capable of going to a Boeing and saying, yes, we have this part and I will show your people how to use it. One of the most important things that you can do right here, capability statement. You can both put this in as a public, if you want the whole world to see it, or you can go specific to members only, and it is only other manufacturers who are signed in and have that access to the site. You can upload a PDF that talks about all of your capabilities. Right here, you have that opportunity, or you can go in and just fill that information in. This is how companies are searching to find you, is through capability statements, keywords. So make sure everything you put in there is up to speed with what you can actually do.
And Kenny, let me add one thing too, because I think this is speaks to the robust nature of the I-5 platform in Connex Oklahoma. If any of you have ever dealt with your own databases in your companies or CRMs, you've ever been in a company that had kept records through those type of databases, you know that on the search function, all you could search for were certain fields, and it was text in fields. But the beauty of the capability statement section on Connex Oklahoma, that the search function is a dynamic search tool. So it not only searches what you put in the text box, but the PDF documents. And I can't stress that enough, because that is a unique feature of this database and part of what makes it so powerful. So we have suggested to everyone, don't do one or the other, do both. Why not? And you can have whatever PDF marketing material you might already have developed for your company, and then hone in on a more succinct kind of capability segment in the text box. But it's a wonderful feature of this software that's unusual.
Yeah, Nicole and Kenny, I'll just add one additional thing to that. Certainly you want to do both. And the reason is because all those searches return results based on relevancy. And relevancy is often determined based upon the number of times in which that search term is found within a profile and their attached capability statements. So for example, I ran the search for steel earlier. Companies who had steel that was listed in our capability statement and in a description and in a name and in all those different places rise farther to the top. So often companies want to know, how do I get closer to the top in the search results? This is the key to doing it. And so Nicole and Kenny are sharing with you one of the really important pieces as to how you get found. So anyway, sorry, go ahead, Kenny.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate that. Yes, excuse me. We cannot stress enough, put as much information in there as you possibly can. And if it's the time when you've decided you want to create new marketing materials to talk about what you're doing, please upload them to here. That's an outstanding way to be found by those folks who are looking for folks like you. Materials. This is a great place to talk about all of the materials with which you work. If you do additive manufacturing, are you doing metal 3D printing? Anything that you do that is specific to your organization, make sure that you've checked all that in here. Are you using it? Are you producing it? Are you distributing it? There's 3 options here for you to talk about how you work with materials. Excuse me, equipment. This is one that's very important. We get a lot of requests for things like who has this size oven, who has a clean room, who has chillers that can be used. We get a lot of supplier scouting requests through here, and this is a great way to list all of, again, capabilities that are going to be found. If you have any of these, you also have options to add other tool at the bottom. So if there's something that's not found on here, you can add it and just make sure that you've talked about it. It will come in and search by all of these different equipment or processes that you have. We had one from, I think it was Ohio, looking for a specific size oven the other day, and we were fortunate to find one. It was before this site had come up, or we would have been using it absolutely to find out. Employees and capabilities, or capacities, pardon me. It is an aggregate information. They're not looking specifically, do you have 3 engineers named Joe who you pay $100,000 a year to? What they're looking at as a larger company particularly would be saying, do you have the capabilities? If I bring you a project, do you have the capabilities to support it with your folks on the shop floor, your admin folks, your engineers on site? So it's really aggregate information that a company, a larger company specifically, might be looking for as they come in to look at your overall site to see, if I bring you extra work, can you handle it? If I'm bringing you, I need you to make 5,000 of these or 10,000 of these, can you handle that capacity at your shop? Suppliers, you'll have the opportunity to list all your suppliers on here. You can put a list of your suppliers in. It can be listed as confidential so that you can keep that confidential. But again, it's a great way for you to demonstrate, these are all the people that I am doing business with. I have a strong supply chain. I'm quite capable of taking on extra work that you could bring my way. Customers, same thing. If you want to brag about the fact that you're doing business with Boeing or you're doing business with Northrop Grumman, it's a great place to do it. Or you're doing business with 5 or 6 strong companies around you, and you have a great reputation with these people because you've been doing business with them for a long time. This is an awesome opportunity to do just that. So as you can see, pretty simple process. You're going to come right back and start at the beginning on your company and just check through all of this. It's very simple to get in there. Once you've been given access to the site, look for your company, go in there and start filling out this information. Again, if you have questions, you run into difficulties, you can either come to us and we will help you with it, or we'll get one of the regional development specialists from Department of Commerce, or one of our great field staff, our manufacturing extension agents, or regional business consultant who can sit down over the phone, in person, and help you step through this process. So I know we probably have a few questions that have come in. I'd be happy to answer any questions that we had at this time. Nicole, I know you've been kind of fielding those.
I actually think Jessica took over fielding the questions. So
Jessica, see if you have questions or have answers for questions.
Absolutely. So I did put in the chat, but just want to remind everybody, we will be sending a follow-up email after this event with future training dates. We do have dates scheduled to specifically talk about supply chain visualization, and so how you can go in and build your supply chain out and see where you may have gaps in your supply chain or different areas. We'll also be doing training specifically on the Exchange Center and how you can go in and view or post RFIs, as well as surplus materials that you may have wanting to get rid of. So there are lots of ways this tool is going to be of great benefit to our manufacturers. So we will be doing additional trainings as well as providing you with documents, sample capability statements, and frequently asked questions. So you all have that as well as how to connect to the national marketplace. That was a question we did receive. So I'll make sure and include instructions on, once you're in the portal, how to connect to the national marketplace.
Thank you, Jessica. I know that folks are going to have questions about this as they move through. We are happy to help, and we're happy to be there for you. We realize this is an exciting time to realize that there is a platform, excuse me, that you could find suppliers or new customers on in a fast, efficient way. And we're very thrilled to be able to launch this here in the state of Oklahoma. One of the things that has come to our attention as we start to launch this is helping folks find ways to overcome some of the missing capabilities they may have. So that's something, as we move through this process, we're also going to be looking at we're seeing a growth or an indication that some of the companies need certain certifications, perhaps ISO certification or ITAR certification. If we start to see a consistent lack of those that are needed so that we can help you access these contracts, we're going to be looking at how we address that as well. Nicole, did you have something else?
No, I think you've covered it all. Thanks everyone for joining us today. You will, like everyone has said, get links to additional training. We'll have these recorded, and then we all stand ready to help you guys use this new powerful tool for you all and for our state.
I encourage everybody on this call, if you have not done so already, go to the Oklahoma Manufacturing Alliance website or to the Oklahoma Department of Commerce website, and you'll look up this Connex Oklahoma platform on there. There's a link directly, it goes to Jessica right to her desk, and will help you. She will help you get signed up for this. I also do want to one real quick shout out before we end the call. Also today, in partnership with the Oklahoma Department of Commerce and our friends at the Oklahoma Finance Authority, we are pleased to help be a small part of the new Oklahoma Industrial Expansion Program. Some may remember this as the Oklahoma Bounce Back Grant, which came through last year during the height of the pandemic. I saw that Jeremy Stoner from the Finance Authority was on this call, so I wanted to make sure I encourage everybody also on the Department of Commerce website to look up that program. It is a great program, and if you are looking at expanding your company, investing in capital equipment for your facility, take a look at it because it could be a good opportunity for you as well. So
before we break, I have one more question that I think is really important for our manufacturers to hear. And then I know Alan wants to talk about some of the upcoming opportunities for manufacturers to get involved and possibly get some work. Someone asked about scammers, non-manufacturers. When you send your request in, that goes to me. I look at the company's NAICS code, and if you do not have a manufacturing NAICS code, you are not allowed into the portal. We want to make sure this is specifically for our manufacturers. There are conversations about possible future supplier areas, things like that, but we're specifically staying within our manufacturers right now. So that way you are not all contacted, your information's not out there for people to pick up the phone and call you and try to scam. So please know that. That's why it takes, we try to say 24 to 48 hours to get in at max, because I go in and I review every single company that puts in a request. So please know that. Alan, you probably can expand on that a little better and talk about some of the upcoming events as well.
Yeah, absolutely. That was one of the very first requests we received from manufacturers when we started developing the platforms 9 or 10 years ago, is that it not become a place where people just come to grab the information and use it for sales and marketing. So it's a really good point, and it's really a critical and important point. And to those of you who may be service providers, it doesn't mean that you will never have any kind of representation in the platform. There is a service provider portal that is scheduled to come out later this year, where you'll be able to put in a profile and manufacturers will be able to search and find you. And so there is some functionality that will be coming later in the year. But to our manufacturers, they won't be able to search and find the manufacturers, but you'll be able to search and find their profiles as needed. So I did want to share one other thing with you just before we close. And I mentioned the event that we are holding right now with Northrop Grumman. As a follow-on to that, we've had requests, and so we're in conversation right now to set up events with NASA. We're starting with the first NASA center will be Marshall Space Flight Center, and we'll have posts coming in from NASA, but they've asked that we actually set it up with all of their centers. So shortly after that initial pilot with NASA, we anticipate that we will have posts from all of the NASA centers coming into the Exchange Center. In addition to that, we've been working with Hill Air Force Base as our first Air Force base. And their first post is scheduled to come in sometime in the next few weeks. And so you'll start to see those coming in. On the advisory council for that particular event are representatives from Tinker. And so we know that the other Air Force bases are anticipating to use the platform for posts as well. And then in addition to Northrop, we're in conversations with half a dozen additional primes. So Boeing was mentioned. They're one of them that I've had a conversation with even within the last week about getting some of their posts in there. Lockheed, Blue Origin, or just some of the other ones that we are having conversations with now. So you're going to see a lot of tremendous opportunity coming into the Exchange Center. And as has been mentioned on the call, so I think this is imperative. If you want access to that national database as well, now is the time to do it. It is an offer that is here for a very short period of time. And unlike so many other things, you know, you hear a lot of marketing speak. This isn't marketing speak. There's a short window of opportunity that we open up for Oklahoma manufacturers in connection with the launch of Connex Oklahoma. And when that closes, that opportunity will close as well. Someone asked in the chat about, can they still get access to the national marketplace? Yes, you'll still be able to get access to the national marketplace through Connex Oklahoma at a discount, but it will not be free forever again. So please, if you are hearing this, don't delay. Take the time and get in there. Make sure you're registered and in the platform, and you've gotten access to the national platform prior to the end of May. That is the only window in which you can take advantage of that. So thanks, Jessica. I appreciate that. Thanks, Kenny, and thanks, Nicole.
Well, we appreciate it, and the support that we're getting to make this site a reality and to make it a strong asset for our manufacturers through the MEP system, through our partners in Florida and Utah. And I see that they have been on here today. We're thrilled to have all these folks moving this forward. Again, if you have questions after this, we will be happy to help answer them. We'll get somebody with you, either an RDS or an MEA, who can help step you through how to get registered. Please reach out to us, get that email to us so we can get you access to the site and get you up and running and get a robust site for your company up so that those customers can start, you can start finding them and they can start finding you. So excited to have this for our state. We look forward to supporting our manufacturing. Thank our partners at Department of Commerce, and we look forward to helping you. I want to be mindful of everybody's time. So if you have additional questions after this, if 10 minutes from now you say, I wish I had asked, please send to us. We will be sure you get your question answered, and we'll get an expert to help you populate your site if you need it. So thank you all. Nicole, anything else from you? Good?
Nope. Thanks everyone for your time.
We appreciate you all. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye.
Thanks all.
Thank you.